Hello, we're welcome back. I'm glad you guys are back with us. We've been a long time. I'm Chef Tim, executive chef here at the Food Bank of Delaware. Today I have a current student with us. He's in our current class, Kareem Murray. He's going to be helping me. He's going to be my sous chef for today. So what we're doing today, we're going to talk about the things that you get in your boxes. We've had some questions about what do we do with some of the products that we do. So we're going to show you a couple of different things that we're going to do with these products. And we'll talk about, you can do it as much heart healthy as you can. And then we're going to try to see if you can put these together. So the first thing we're going to do, we took our wheat pasta, we took our peas and carrots, we took our tuna, and we're going to do like a tuna casserole with it. All right, so we took the milk that we're going to make, and we're going to use a thickening agent, which is called the roux, and we're going to thicken that. That's how we're going to thicken that milk. So we're going to get started. Today, we're going to take, we've already cooked the pasta off. One thing about this wheat pasta, you have to almost undercook it a little bit, because if you cook it till you feel like it's done like regular pasta, it'll probably overcook. And remember, we're going to put this back in the oven and cook it again. So make sure you kind of undercook it. It's what they call an al dente. And that way, you won't have to overcook your pasta. All right, so we're going to get started. We're going to have Kareem here. He's going to make a roux for us. So we're going to talk about what a roux is as a thickening agent, and then I'm going to get this milk heated up so we can get going here.
All right.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get our sauce going for our casserole. Like I said, I'm going to use a little bit of this dairy pure milk that we get in our boxes there. He's going to make our roux. So we're going to do like a roux is a thickening agent that we use. You could use like, if you want to use cornstarch, it's more of what they call a slurry, but a roux will give it more body. So we're going to take some butter, and a roux is always equal parts flour and butter. We're going to cook it till it's like wet sand, and then we're going to add it to our sauce and thicken that up. Okay? There we go. Also, if you want a little seasoning for here, I'm going to use fresh garlic. You can use garlic powder. Any of your seasonings you can usually get at the Dollar Tree. You can get all your seasonings that we're going to use today. So if you want to use garlic powder, you can grab that. I'm just going to use a little fresh garlic. Add that to our sauce. And he's going to finish our roux here, so we can keep that going. While Kareem is getting that going, I want to talk about a little bit about class. We have our current culinary class going on. That's what they're doing now. It's a 14-week program within West for 12 weeks. They are in week 5 or 6 now, Kareem.
We are in 6.
Week 6, so they're halfway through, believe it or not, and it seems like they just started. But so they've been through everything from knife skills, meat fabrications. They just finished the 5 mother sauces. They've done stocks. So now I know coming up they're going to be going into the cooking techniques. So I know they got some briskets they're going to be braising next week. So just some of the things that we do here at the food bank. So if you're interested in class, just go onto our website, fbd.org, go into Delaware Food Works and the Culinary School. You can definitely be interested in doing that. All right, we're almost here. We're going to get our flour. So the key is make sure you get that butter all the way melted. Flame's a little high, but that's fine. We're just trying to do it for a timing thing here today. And you can see our milk is already starting to simmer. So you want your milk to get a little warm before you add that roux to it. All right, so we got our butter melted. Now I'm going to slowly add this flour. And he's going to whisk this flour in. Like what they call wet, so it's going to be what we were looking for, the consistency of wet sand. And the key to a roux is you got to let it cook. Right? So you're going to let that roux cook, and that way, when you add it to your sauce, you don't have to worry about it separating. So as you can see now, we're getting a little thicker. There we go. Maybe a little bit more. We're going to add that in. All right. So now, like that wet sand consistency, you see how it's starting to come away from the sides. Again, we'll just turn this down just a tad. And we're going to let that cook for a minute. So that's your key to a roux. So as soon as that's ready, our water is ready. Now what we're gonna make, what kind of roux are we making, Kareem?
We're making the blind roux.
Which is a blonde roux. So a blonde roux, we only have to cook it like maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and then we're good to go. If you were doing a darker sauce, you would need a darker roux, so you would have to cook it a little longer. But the key is to turn it down. We don't want it to burn. We just want it to continue to cook. So that's looking really good. The Koreans got that going for us. And we're gonna add this roux. We'll let that cook 1 minute. We're gonna add that roux, and we're gonna add it right to our sauce. Now it's up to you if you want to add more seasonings in it. If you like to use salt, we use kosher salt here. You don't need as much. But if you want to use, if you want to add other seasonings, that'd be totally up to you. All right, so now our roux is cooking. Now we're going to add this slowly to here. Now, a roux is a thickening agent. It's not going to thicken instantly like you do a cornstarch. So it's only going to thicken up a little bit at a time. The key to a roux is you got to let it cook out. If you don't let it cook out, you'll have that flour taste to there. We won't be using all of that roux, so we'll only need a little bit. Starting to thicken up already. All right, so we'll just start tasting that. Kareem will start tasting it. We'll let that cook. As we're starting to cook, let that cook. We're going to go back to the table and start putting our pasta and stuff together. Okay, so we're going to take our pasta and we're going to add that to our container. Remember, we're going to take our tuna, and this tuna, you may have to drain it out a little bit. You don't want all the water that's when it comes in this can. Same thing with your vegetables. You may want to drain them out. If you're really heart healthy, canned vegetables have a lot of sodium in it. You may want to rinse them off and drain them off. So we'll add those right to here. All right. And now we're sauce. We're good. All right. So our sauce should be nice and ready. So now that's pretty nice and thick. So we're going to add that sauce to here. Remember, our vegetables are already cooked. Our pasta's already cooked. So we're going to add that. Remember, that pasta is going to take up a lot of that sauce. We're going to add a little bit more for room. Can you just pour it in there for me? There you go. We might need it all. Keep going. Keep going. Awesome. Okay, very good. That looks good. We're going to take our container here. We're going to add that right in. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take a little breadcrumb, top it on top. And then we're going to put this in the oven, let our breadcrumb brown on top, and that'll be our tuna casserole. Okay? All right, so we pulled out our tuna casserole from the oven. Again, I put little breadcrumbs on top. We topped it off, and we got it out. Came out really nice. So this gives you an idea of things. We took maybe like 15, 20 minutes in the oven, 350, and you got your tuna casseroles. Now you can bite into it, get a little crunch on there, and you got your tuna casserole right into everything in one spoonful. So thank you, Kareem, for pulling that out, and we look forward to seeing you next time.